Okay, now we're going to create our constants file. As I said, all of these variables or all of these fields from your form needs to have a variable attached to them. So when you click submit, it will put the value of everything that you've entered in your form and assign it into the variable. So I'm going to create a constant PHP, and we said and you creating the variables all in one file and you include your file in your process, it's a better practice than recreating those variables in different. So the first one variable is the user that I'm going to create, and it's called root. This is all for my connections. So the next one will be server name, and it's localhost to help me with my connection. So every variable that I will use, database name, sorry, got the dollar sign. So the database name is database1. That's the name of the database they're using, and then the table name, and gonna call it aliens underscore image. So I'm just double check my database name. So sorry, it's aliens. So ALLIN. I'm just gonna call it the aliens. Just gonna make it that smaller just to copy exact spelling. So that's the database name here that I'm using, and that's the aliens page. Sorry, that's the aliens table that I'm going to add the aliens into. And I don't have any password. And now, after these are all the variables that I needed. These are all the variables that I needed for my connection. Okay, but now I'm going to create the variables for the form. So the first variable is the name. So every one of these, I'm just going to go in order. So the first one is the name. So you can see that's the name ID. So that's why I'm going to write in here name, the variable name, and I'm going to use $_ underscore post. And then what do I post? I'm using name, oh sorry, not capital letters, it's very letter sensitive. Okay, now what it means when you submit the value of the form, of the text field that you name, it will save in this folder. Now sometimes the user will leave that empty. So what you need to do, you're going to have an if statement. So if is set, this is a function that helps me to check have the user entered a value for the name or not. Okay, that's just checking. This variable, because it's an if statement, so I need to put the condition in a square circle bracket. If is set means okay, it means that it will return one. Is set underscore post, it means check if the user have entered something in the text name. If it entered, it will return 1, which is true. If it's not entered, it will return 0. So if it's entered, assign whatever it's entered to the name. Else, if it didn't enter anything, then you must give a text says echo you have not selected a name for your aliens, so it's up to you. Later on maybe we will learn how would we range those errors. So your aliens will be named unknown. Okay, when you're saying that, after you're saying that, that's what's going to print it. And after you're saying that, you could do now, I'm going to assign the variable name into string unknown. All right. So that's my else condition for the name. Now the next variables that I'm going to use is the shape. So you could do exactly the same things for the shape. So because at the moment we have in the form, so remember our form, it has empty. So if the user didn't choose a value, that will give me a return empty. Okay, so again, you could have those if statements with all your other variables. Okay, so I could do that for the shape. Just double check so you can see the shape. That's the name I've used, and this is the name you will use for your post. Okay, and that shape, and here I would name it variable shape. You have not selected a shape for your aliens and will be signed shape equal unknown. Okay, and then you will do exactly the same for the color. Now I've got my form, just double check the color. Yep, no capital letter. And then you have not selected a color for your alien, so it will be assigned unknown or no color. No color. Will be, so your aliens will have no color. It's up to you what you put in those reasons. So for the shape, your alien's shape will be unknown. So it's really up to you what you're going to put in here. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the ear. No, not for the ears, sorry, arms. So I'm just double checking what I've named the arms. So I've got the eyes, I've got the mouth, and I've got the arms. So arms, you have not selected. You have not stated how many arms for your alien. Alien, not aliens. So my spelling is bad. So your aliens will have 0 arms. Will have 0. And then that means the arms will have 0. And I would do exactly the same for the eyes, because it's also number of eyes. And then, 0, I'll leave it, but I'll change here. Eyes, how many eyes? And then for last one that I will do is for the mouth. And for the mouth, you could say, well, you have not stated what type of mouth. Of mouth your alien has. So your aliens will have maybe open as default. Okay, you could do that. All right. Now for the ear, because the ear we've already stated in the database, it has a default value of 0. So I would go here and I would just assign for the ears, I would say is set and then I would post is, sorry, post square bracket is with double quotation mark, close square bracket, close bracket. And what it means, if you've ticked it, it will assign 1. If you don't tick it, it will assign 0. So there's no problem. You don't have to tick it because it's only 0 or 1. All right. Now the next one that we're going to do is for the file. So that's for the file. I'm just going to paste and I'm going to say, okay, for the files that you will have is set, and I'm not going to say post, it needs to be files. Okay, because you're getting file, and here it will be the user file. I think that's what we've named it. I'm just going to check in a minute. And you want the name as well of the file. So the name of the file is the name of the image you've uploaded. Okay, and then here, if it is same, so image name will be this bit here. Just gonna copy and paste this. So basically what it will store in here, it will store the image name. You have not selected an image for your aliens. So your aliens will have no image stored. And I'm not going to assign it anything because, well, there's nothing to assign it to start with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say image name, and then I just leave it blank in here. Okay, and now I'm saving everything. Okay, the next one that I'm going to do, because this is all how you insert. Before you can insert anything, you must create a connection for your database. So basically, I'm going to create another file, and I'm going to name that one connection, because every time you insert or you connection, if you insert or get data read data from the database, you need to perform a connection. So I'm just going to create a connection, and I'm going to save it in the database. Sorry, in the so again, it's a PHP file. Then I'm going to write here in the middle. Now in the PHP file, because I'm going to use the constant, so I'm going to say include, and I'm going to say constant dot php. Just double check your spelling. So always mistakes, and if there is something mistaken, it doesn't work. Now I'm going to write my connection SQL, my SQL connect. So this one here has been given to me, and then what I will connect, I will use the server name that I've already used, and then user, and I need to say the password. So we assigned it to pass, got double in here, and I will use the database name. I'm just checking that I've actually used exactly. So server name, user, database. So you've got user, server name, database name. Okay, brilliant. And the path. So I've got the same variables in here. And then now I need to check if my connection obviously is accurate or not. If this SQL connected. So if I say if connect, this is what return 1 if connected successfully. So if connected, you can say you have connected successfully. You have connected to the